Hi guys, I am hoping to be consistent going forward. Sorry about the break, I'm back. Let's get to this. We're going to be doing this 2D stinger transition. Yes, there are a few inbuilt transitions in Davinci Resolve, so we just want to create our own. So let's start with bringing in Fusion clip. So we can just click on Effects, scroll down to Effects, then we go to Fusion and bring in a Fusion comp, like so. Then I click on the Fusion page, bring the media out here. Let's bring in a background node. We connect this background node to the media out. Then we click on this background node, drop the alpha to 0. I have an asset I downloaded from Pixabay. Just search for abstract backgrounds and you're going to get this. So this is a 4K footage. If I drag it here, you can scroll up here and you see that is 4K, but my timeline is HD. Shift spacebar, bring in a resize node, and then I connect this resize node to the background node, drag that node like that, and then it automatically creates a merge node. And now we have the media out showing this. You can click on here and click on fit so it fits the screen correctly. We can close the media pool for now. To bring in the text plus node, I'm going to connect this from here to the merge node, so it creates another merge node. Now for this text, I'll just type my channel name, mad, enter, resolve. For the font, I'll just use Proxima Nova 0.09. Okay, maybe 0.1 there. Give it a bit of tracking, 1.025. It appears to be not exactly at the center. So what I'm going to do, just go to layouts, just move the Y up a bit. Now if I want to be sure it's at the center, I can go right click on here, go to guides and say show guides. So this will let me know if it's at the center. Right, it looks like it's at the center, so I'm just gonna right click on it again, go to guides and uncheck show guides so I can get to see what I'm working with. Now we have this mad result, but I don't want the text just to be on this. I want it to animate in, so I'm going to go to the text, go to the text tab under inspector, right click on it, go to follower, click on follower. Then I'm going to click on this modifier tab up here. In that modifier tab, I'm going to set the character delay to 2, the time delay to 2. I'll now start the animation. Now I want this transform to be on a line level, so I'm just going to click on this drop down and pick line. So for each line, the animation will take effect. So at the beginning, I want the scale to be 0.999. Note that you don't want it to be either 1 or -1. Once it starts getting to 1 or -1, it starts acting up. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say I click on this keyframe. So you see it, the -1 makes it have this funny thing. So I'm just going to keyframe this. I'm going to click on here and type -0.999. And that works well. So if you see me drag this down, like so, you see it's like that. So I'm just going to set this back to -0.999, enter, then 40, let's make it 30 instead. So from frame 30, I want it to be 0. Then from the 10th frame after that, I want it to start zooming out again. So I'm just going to click on here, keyframe this, then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 30 frames. I'm going to get it to go zoom back out, so -0.999, and let's go to spline editor, click on there, click on this line offset, click on zoom to fit, Ctrl A to select everything, or you can just pick on this to select everything, same thing, then press S on the keyboards because I want this to be curved up top here. So I'm just going to close spline editor, go back here, and let's play what we've done. So I'm going to go to this text and go to keyframes, click on zoom to fit here, expand this. I want First, select this first 3, move this forward just a bit by 10 frames. Then I'm going to go here to move this forward by 10 frames. So that way we still have this showing by the time the animation is almost done. So we are good on this end. Bring in a rectangular mask node, this node here. Let's drag that to the viewer. The width of this, set it to 0.25. That's 1 divided by 4. I can double click on that, say 1 divided by 4. So it's exactly 4 of this that will fill this frame. And I want the height to be 1. And I want to move this to the very edge here to be mathematically correct. The center here will be 0.25 divided by 2. So you're just going to go here, 0.25 divided by 2. So it's going to be mathematically correct on that edge here. But you'll notice from the example I gave you that the corner here is curved. So I'm just going to go to the corner radius and set this to 0.25. But you'll see that a bit of the framing is showing here. So I'm just going to increase the height so that this straight edge covers the whole height here. So I'm just going to go to height and set this to 1.1. So it sticks out a little bit at the top and at the bottom. Now we bring in a transform node. Connect this, make sure you connect it to the yellow input of the transform node. Let's drag the transform node to the viewer. So I want this transform from the beginning, I want the transform to be up, completely out of view, like so. So just 1.55. Keyframe this. I want the whole animation to be about 40 frames, like so. And then move that to 0.5. Then I want this to be after 10 frames, like so. Keyframe this. Then we go forward 40 frames plus 40. Enter. So it jumps to this part. Then I'm just going to drop the value of y till it is below the stuff, like so. Let's just say minus 0.55. Then I'm going to go to spline editor, zoom to fit. This first one, I select both keyframes, right click, go to ease, out cubic, then select this last 2, right click, in cubic. Cool. So I close the spline editor. So if we go here and drag this up here, and let's click on this to fit, play this back, we see we have this, then we see we have that. Okay, cool. We want this to now set to be 4 copies of this across. So I'm going to click on a blank part of the node tree, shift spacebar, duplicate. We pick, there are 2 duplicates, pick the second duplicate and click add. Connect this transform to the input of this duplicate. Now for this duplicate, I want 4 copies. Then you recall that the width of this is 0.25, right? So I'm just going to add 0.25 to this. It will make it 0.75. And if we now drag this to the viewer, you see we have it filling the frame correctly. Now for this duplicate, the time offset, let's just say it says -5. So if you play this back, you'll see we have the makings of what we are working with. Cool. You see we have that. So let's bring a merge node. Click on this merge node. Let's bring the merge node, like so. And then we are going to, this background node is here. We're going to connect this background node to this green input here. Click on this merge, right click on it, click on swap inputs. So this background becomes the background and this becomes the foreground. Now, if I connect this directly to this mask input here, you'll see what we've done here. You see we have this like so. So to make it just a little bit more interesting, let's click outside here, shift spacebar, bring in motion trails, like so, add. Then I'm going to connect this to motion trails. drag that to the viewer, you see that it doesn't work. It just doesn't see it. Motion trails will only take something like footage. So I'm going to work around that and bring in a background node. Make the color of the background node white. Click OK. Why I make it white is because I want it to be a mask for this merge input. So I'm going to connect this to the mask input of the background node and connect the background node to motion trails. And then we can see the effect on motion trails, which looks pretty sweet. So I'm going to connect this motion trails to this merge node, the mask input here. If I go to this mask now, ordinarily you should mask it. Motion trails output does not mask the merge node. So that means I need to bring in a bitmap node. So I click on an empty space, shift space, bitmap, enter, connect the motion trails input to the bitmap. Now for the bitmap node, under inspector, change the channel to luminance. If you drag this to the viewer, you see we have that. Then we can connect this bitmap node now to the merge node. And if you bring this bitmap now, you see we now have the makings of what we want. But you'll see that the edges, they don't look so, they don't pop out the way I'd have wanted them to pop out. So we're going to add a little jazz to it. So we're going to go here, bring it up a little bit. Let's click on an empty part of the node grid and pick edge detect. That here and add. So I'm going to click and connect this motion trails to edge detect and drag that here. But to make it look even nicer, we're going to, under inspector for edge detect, tick edge mask overlay. So it just gives it that edge on that there, like so. We don't really change anything here. We connect this to the bitmap node, bam. And then we show this. You see, we now have something that kind of edges pop out just a little bit more, which is cool. But I still am not satisfied with how the edge works. So I'm going to click on this edge and copy and click on an empty part, shift Control V. So shift Control V will create an instance of that edge detect. So what I want to change here, right click on this, the instance. On this drop down, click grayscale edges. Let's drag that here. I don't have any input yet. I'm going to connect this motion trail in there. Okay. And then just want this, only this to show. But in this instance, I don't want the brightness to be this much. So I'm going to right click on this, on the instance of this edge detect. Right click on it, the instance, the brightness. Let's drop this to 1.5. Let me see if I move this up a little bit because I'm still going to do a little something. So we have this edge detect here. Now I will bring in a soft glow node, shift spacebar, soft glow. So drag this up here. So we see it's popping up a little bit, but it's too much. So I'm just going to go under the soft glow, under inspector, and drop the blend to maybe 0.2. So it's just something subtle. So I'm just going to bring in a background node. Now this background node, I can make it white and click OK. Then connect the output of this soft glow to the mask input of the background node. So we have this, but you'll see that it's not masking the background node just right. So it means I need a bitmap node. So I click outside here, shift space bar, bitmap node. Maybe I'm needlessly complicating this, but let's just make it look a little nicer, I guess. Connect this to the yellow input of the bitmap node and connect the bitmap node to the background. And then we drag this. Now for the bitmap node, change the channel from alpha to luminance. And then we have this. So let's arrange our nodes like so. And then we can drag the output here and connect it to be over this. So if we drag this to the viewer, you see we have the beautiful thing there. So if we go here now, so we have this. Let's see what is happening here. Now this bit, this edge detect here, this edge detect needs to be edge mask overlay, but this one, if I click on here, it should not be edge mask overlay. So I'm going to right click on this, de-instance it, uncheck this. Okay, so if you put this here, so we see we have that coming on like so, and then we are practically done with this effect. One other thing we can just do here to make it look a little nicer is to expand this, move this duplicate up, and then we bring a transform node. Connect this duplicate to this transform node and connect this transform node to the background node here. Now the beauty of this particular transform node is this. Note this effect. See this wipe here like so. So I can go to this transform node, go to the edges, change this to mirror, and then I can do all sorts of things here. I can make this angle like so, and then I can make this size smaller, and then you can see that it just wipes like so. And the beauty of this is you can make it anything you want, make it the aspect, you can change it, make it look weird, whatever. Angle, you can change the center, so you just at the edge here or the edge there. So it's pretty flexible, and you do that all from this transform. And then also there's a beauty here for this. Notice this background that we added this at the edge here. We can go to this background and change the color to anything we want. Let's say I change it to red. So you see it has a red hint at the edge when it wipes in. You can now place this on any footage, and you place it on top of the footage. Let's say I bring this two in here like so. I'll bring it to the middle, and then we play this back. You'll see that this thing just wipes in and then wipes off. To help make this better, I'll be providing a macro of sorts that kind of contains the adjustments you can make. Thanks for stopping by, and hope you enjoyed this one. Next one will be a 3D version of a stinger, and I hope you'll enjoy that one as much as you enjoyed this one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. I do not take it for granted. See you on the next one. Cheers.